It's time to reveal the results, folks. Which soil mix did better in my GreenStalk planter? My DIY mix or Miracle-Gro? But first, the backstory. Hey folks, if we haven't met before, my name is Tara and I garden in the Bay Area, California, and I am the proud owner of 12 GreenStalks, including this brand new Blueberry GreenStalk, which we're going to be setting up today. Now, I've owned GreenStalks for about 4 years now, and if you've owned GreenStalks for any length of time, you know that one of the most important things for the success of your GreenStalks is the soil mix that you use. So over the years, I have developed and perfected what I believe is the most amazing soil mix, DIY soil mix for the GreenStalk, and I've made several videos on it. Now, I know that my soil mix works because I have got, like I said, 12 GreenStalks. Many of them have vegetables and many of them have flowers, and they all grow simply amazing. But I'm also realistic. I know that not everyone has the interest or the energy to make your own soil. It takes a little bit of effort to go in there and mix all those ingredients together. And you've got that initial investment of buying all those ingredients in bulk. So yeah, it's not for everyone. But the soil mixes that GreenStalk recommends on their website can be expensive, especially if you're not getting them on sale. Things like Happy Frog and ProMix, they're not cheap. So I wanted to find an alternative, something that is more easily available and that you may have access to wherever you are, particularly in the United States. So Costco sells this large bag of 50 quarts, I think, of premium potting mix from Miracle-Gro. Now, not everyone likes the company, but hey, there's usually a Costco near enough to you wherever you live in the United States. So I figured I'd give that a head-to-head contest against my DIY mix and see whether that's a worthwhile option. So the experiment took place in early June. It's late July, so about 6 weeks or so. And it's time to reveal the results. And spoiler alert, one of them turned into a seedling graveyard. Leave a comment below as to which one you think it is. But yeah, these plants didn't do well at all. Some of them don't even exist anymore. Let me show you up close. So while you're guessing which one this one is, this is clearly the one that did well. That's the one that has all the dead plants. Well, let me show you what all I planted. I planted zinnias. Now, I'm actually doing an experiment where I'm growing full-size zinnias, but I'm going to keep them relatively pruned. So I will be chopping off the buds, or the flowers actually, as soon as they bloom, putting them in a vase so I can keep the plants fairly short and have them kind of bushy, because these are full-size zinnias that can grow maybe 3 feet, 4 feet tall. I've also got vinca, which is absolutely full of blooms, and it looks gorgeous in the GreenStalk. I've got these little sunflowers. These are dwarf teddy bear sunflowers that were started from seed, and you can see the bloom is starting to form. The celosia didn't do as good, and the calendula kind of got spider mites or something like that. So it's not the season for calendula anyway, so I'm not too sad about that. I'll probably replace it with something else. I also have some beautiful coleus. Look at that. I think this is called flamethrower. And then more zinnias, and I've also got some, what is this? This is feverfew. So I just odds and ends, but all kinds of pretty flowers, and it just did really, really well. Let me show you the other one. Yep, this is the sorry state of the other. This is the vinca plant. This used to be coleus. I actually felt really sorry for this plant, and I brought in some marigolds and stuck them in here. The sunflowers all died, the seedlings, and I actually got some starts that were growing in my greenhouse and put them in here. But you can see they're just so much smaller than the other. The celosia completely dead. The zinnias seem to be doing okay. I don't know why, but they seem to be decent. I mean, almost comparable to those. Not quite, but almost. The vinca, look at this one. This one survived, but 1 bloom versus 50 blooms, per plant on the other one. And this marigold seems to be doing okay. And one solitary celosia plant that is like the little engine that said, I think I can, right? So I'm hoping this will make it. That will be really, really good. I've got some society garlic that seems to be hanging in there, but this thing is pretty impossible to kill. So no credit to me. Look at that. It's a pretty little bloom starting to form here. But for the most part, if you compare the two, yep, the contrast is pretty darn obvious. Okay, did you guess in the comments? Because I'm revealing the results. It is dun-da-da-da, Miracle-Gro. All right, let's back up the train a little bit, and I'm gonna share with you what I think went wrong. In fact, I know what the problem is. Okay, so this is actually really kind of embarrassing because in the video, and I'll put a link to it so you can go check it out, I actually show off about how my DIY mix is just amazing and so on and so forth. But I also got a little extra cocky because you know how I was thinking I've got to have people have things that are easily accessible to them, and in my DIY mix I use my own homemade compost. But I figured, you know, let's go to the big box store and find something that is easily available. And I picked steer manure because on the bag it said steer manure and compost. So I figured it's some kind of mix. What I did not really take into account, which I kind of should have known, was number one, it's likely that the mixture was not completely done yet. So it hadn't sat long enough. So it might have been too hot and would have burnt the roots. In fact, pretty sure that's what it did. And the other reason also is it's too concentrated. My homemade compost has leaves and wood chips and all kinds of stuff broken into it. It's got a lot of carbon material versus this is more, I mean, let's face it, steer poop, right? That's the majority of the ingredient. It's just too dense for something like the GreenStalk. So yeah, I should not be surprised at all. I'm a little disappointed. I'm feeling like I'm eating humble pie, but I know the reason. And why I'm sure that that's the reason is, let me actually show you another planter where I planted similar things at the same time. Not a GreenStalk, it's just a planter by the windowsill, but I used my actual DIY mix. And let me show you how I used it. Yeah, so here's this little window box planter. Everything is doing so well. Look at these zinnias. I've never seen healthier zinnias in my life. I've got calendula that's doing super well here. In fact, even better than the GreenStalk. I've got bloodleaf. It looks like coleus, but it's actually an amaranth. And I've got snapdragons. Just everything did really, really well in this. And this is 100% my own compost. And it's the exact same mix that I use in all my other GreenStalks. Okay, so what am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is eventually I'm going to empty this all out and I'm going to sort of refurbish it with some additional homemade compost, add some more perlite and then use it. And over time, the material that has not been properly broken down, the steer manure, is going to get better. It's going to improve and it's going to do well, hopefully, once it's mixed in with all that other good stuff. So in the meanwhile, what am I going to do until I restack this? I'm going to kind of scoop out soil wherever you see dead plants here, and I'm going to replace them with other things because I just can't bear to see the GreenStalk look like this for the rest of the 2-3 months that I've got before my first frost. So yeah. Now on to other topics. Let's go and populate this blueberry planter that I just received, and this has the good stuff in it, the good soil. So hopefully things will do well. So I've got a nice little collection of seedlings here, but before I show you what I'm going to be planting, check this out, you guys. I have got the new mover drip tray. Now, this is a brand new product from GreenStalk and it works, unfortunately for me, only with the mover because I've got all ultimate spinners. This is the first GreenStalk that I got the mover for. So it holds about 1 quart of water and it's great if you're on a balcony or a deck or indoors. You don't want the surface to get wet. You can use this, and it's got these things, these little divider things. These are called baffles, apparently. New word for me. The idea behind these baffles is that when the water flows into it from the GreenStalk, it's coming pretty fast, it could start sloshing around and splashing outside, and this will kind of break the flow of the water. At least that's the intent. And then of course it's also got this little level indicator over here so that when it's at the top, you know that your drip tray is full and you need to empty it. Okay, let's go ahead and plant up this blueberry GreenStalk and I'll tell you what exactly I'm planting in it. Some really cool flowers. And then I'm going to take you on a tour to my summer GreenStalks because I've got another new acquisition over there that I am dying to show you guys. And before we do that, if you are getting value from my videos, if you're enjoying my content, I sure would appreciate it if you use my affiliate link in the description if you intend to purchase any products from GreenStalk. And if you use the code GREENLOVE10, that will give you $10 off your entire purchase as long as it's $75 or more. Thank you so much for your support for my channel. Now let's take a look at these plants. Okay, so I've got two kinds of flowers that I'm going to be growing in the GreenStalk. I started all of them from seeds. One of them is petunias. Yeah, you guys, you can start petunias from seed. It is super easy. I was at the dollar store and just on a whim, I picked up one of those packs of petunias, the common ones, the purple, the whites, the pinks, and I just planted them, just, what the heck. And they grew so fast. And in 2 months, I had beautiful plants. I mean, so many of them. I planted them all over the place. And that gave me the confidence to actually get a little bit more exotic varieties, if you will. So I got a couple from Baker Creek. I think one of them is called Jaroměř, Greetings from Jaroměř, something like that. And then the other one is called Sparkler. So I'll put pictures of them. They're really, really pretty. And then I'm also growing Snapdragons. Again, two unique varieties. One of them is called Mango Twist, a beautiful yellowish orange color. And then the other one is called Flames. So I'm going to be planting now. Snapdragons are perennial plants, so I will be scooping them out of the GreenStalk at the end of the year when I'm restacking. I'll be putting them in a different part of my garden. I've already got plans for that. And yeah, let's get these into the GreenStalk, and then I'm going to show you my really cool thing on the other side with my summer GreenStalks. I'm still trying to decide whether I should put the petunias on the top or whether I should put the Snapdragons on the top. The Snapdragons tend to be a little bit long and kind of lanky, but then petunias do cascade over. So I don't think it makes much of a difference. I think I'll do petunias in the top and middle tier, and I'll do the snaps in the bottom. Let's see how they turn out. So I'm going to put 2 in each pocket because I don't want to risk having empty pockets in case they die. And I'm really hoping my DIY mix is not going to let me down this time, because that is going to be really embarrassing. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up off camera because I'm starting to lose daylight and I really want to show you my summer GreenStalks. So before I show you my summer GreenStalks, just a little bit of context. Recently, GreenStalk posted an Instagram reel, I think a Facebook video as well, where they showed a gorgeous trellis full of bean plants climbing all over them, and they showed like a progression thing. It was just amazing. And I had to get it. I had to get it like same day delivery. It's not their product. It was an Amazon thing. I'll put a link in the description in case you're interested. But I got it because I've got cantaloupes that were reaching and they needed something to climb on. So let me show you the new trellis. There it is, folks. My gorgeous new cantaloupe trellis. And you can see that it's only been like literally 3 days. The cantaloupe has already started climbing on it. There are some bean plants, pole beans. They're already climbing on it as well. And interestingly, this cantaloupe plant, it almost feels like it somehow detected that there was a trellis nearby and it started reaching in this general direction. So I kind of helped it along. I gave it some string to kind of navigate it to this trellis. But can you imagine how gorgeous this is going to look? Yeah, I know it's a little bit off angle here and I do need to push this GreenStalk a little bit closer, but I can't do that because it is full and it's sitting on that stone, so I can't really move it, but I will do it when I restack it. But I can't wait to show you guys how this trellis fills up and how happy Mr. Sloth will be when the cantaloupe melon from this side reaches and meets him on the other side. And while I'm here, maybe a quick little tour of what is going on here. So this GreenStalk and that one probably get the most even sunshine. And that's really important when you have this trellis, because one of the main things is that you cannot turn your GreenStalks once this trellis is in place. So if you plan to get this, make sure that you don't need to turn it because it's getting even sunshine. And I'm going to show you actually on the other side of the greenhouse, similar plants, but how they perform with much less sunshine. So over here we have cantaloupes, like I showed you. These are called Tigger melons. Apparently not the most flavorful, but probably one of the prettiest, and they're nice compact size, but I'm going to find out for the first time. I've got these Cajun, what are they called? Okra. And they are actually already producing fruit and flowers, and you can see the size of the leaves. And I'm showing you this because I want to show you the contrast on the other side. I've also got soybeans, and look at the brilliant green color that all of these have. Another point that I'm going to show you on the other side. The Coleus I showed you on the yellow GreenStalk as well, the lemon GreenStalk. It is so pretty, this flamethrower Coleus. Get Coleus, you guys. Coleus grows great in the GreenStalk and looks so gorgeous. And look at these huge eggplant leaves. I mean, look at that. They are all flowering and going to be fruiting pretty soon as well. And then I've got beans. lots and lots of beans coming on this GreenStalk, as well as on the one next to it that actually has more bean plants. It's almost dedicated to bean plants. So one thing about beans is you have to harvest as quickly as you see them maturing, because if not, the plant is going to slow down. And I don't have another batch of beans coming, so I want to maximize the beans that I can get from these plants. So I'll be coming out here and harvesting. Oh, look at that large one. These are contender beans, and they definitely contend as far as production goes. They compete with each other to see who's going to win and who's going to produce more. So definitely a good variety to grow, and certainly in the GreenStalk, because they're a bush variety, so they're not going to grow too tall or too crazy. In this GreenStalk, the one that is producing the Cantaloupe long trailing vine that's going to meet up and join this trellis, I do have a few interesting pepper varieties, and I've shown you these in previous videos as well. This is a super long pepper. It's probably over a foot long if I try to stretch it out and measure it, and I don't know what it is. One of my viewers said it's Corbaci. It's probably Corbaci because I have got Corbaci seeds and I've been trying to grow them for a while. These are the good old favorite banana peppers, and they're one of the earliest producers, and you want to harvest them when they're kind of starting to turn yellowish color. Don't wait for them to turn red. They actually are probably best when they are at this stage, and this is when you're supposed to harvest them. And I've got Jimmy Nardellos. Now Jimmy Nardellos are one of my favorites. They turn this bright lipstick color. They're a sweet pepper and extremely productive as well. Down here is wild arugula. If you guys haven't grown wild arugula, it's something worth looking into. Number one, grows really well in the GreenStalk, and number two, it's a perennial. And it definitely tastes very much like arugula because it is. I haven't been deadheading them, which I should be doing, but they are a great alternative to regular, I think it's called rocket arugula, because number one, they're perennial, and number two, they actually can handle the heat pretty well. Regular arugula will bolt as soon as the temperatures go above maybe, say, 75, 80 degrees. And coming along onto this side, this is the shadier side. These GreenStalks don't get as much sun at all. This GreenStalk, ignored this for a while. I've been trying to dedicate it to strawberries unsuccessfully. I think I'm going to give up on strawberries, mainly because I just get terrible aphid infestations, and strawberries just don't thrive in my GreenStalks. Probably something about my microclimate that encourages aphids to really thrive in my GreenStalks. I don't know why. Worse in my GreenStalks than anywhere else in my garden. And I wanted to show you these because this is the GreenStalk that has those plants that I was comparing just now. So say, for example, these are the beans. They're actually not looking healthy, and I think it's partly because they're shaded out. I'm not really sure. Nutrition, I don't think, is an issue because I have been giving them fertilizer. Everything is looking kind of not so great. Marigolds, of course, they seem to grow no matter what, and this Thai basil, actually this is cardinal basil over here, is absolutely thriving too. But yeah, eggplants are doing okay, I guess. Not as large, the leaves you see around the other side here. Everything is looking okay, but kind of meh, as my daughter says. And I've got a little cantaloupe growing here, so I am not very confident that it's going to do very much because it's shaded out, and even though I do turn this quite frequently, it's still not getting the sunshine that it needs. But those GreenStalks over there are doing really well. Lots of sunshine. Just real quick, I wanted to show you this mesh bag that I'm using. It has been a lifesaver when it comes to protecting my tomatoes from squirrels, because as soon as the tomatoes start to turn, the squirrels get them. And this metal mesh bag, this is I think stainless steel, has been super helpful. I'll leave a link in the comments in case you're interested. Look at that, white eggplant blossoms. Have you ever seen white eggplant blossoms? And the eggplant itself is green. So my little sloth guy over here, his name is Mr. SlowPoke, and he's my garden friend. He makes me happy whenever I see his smiling face. Isn't he just adorable? I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. So do follow along to see how my blueberry GreenStalk does and what I'm doing to sort of patch up my other lemon GreenStalk that's not looking so great. And of course, you got to see how this trellis fills out. So follow along my channel. I'll make sure that I do all the updates. And I've also got an entire playlist of videos, tips, hacks, tricks on how to get the best out of your GreenStalk. So I hope you check it out. I'll put a link somewhere here. Until next time, folks, live green and love your greens.